Good evening, welcome to Central News for Friday the 18th of October. I'm Hilary Entwistle. In today's news, the Hamilton Diwali Festival has been running for a fortnight and showcasing many different entertainment items and visually stunning displays. The festival has been run by Waikato University and organiser Suman Kapoor encourages people of all cultures and backgrounds to come down and experience what is on offer.
It's been very successful, very nicely received by people of Hamilton, and not only Hamilton, outside Hamilton also. And we are expecting a grand show, so it's going to be grand finale, and definitely it's going to touch people's heart and minds.
A joint Waikato District Council and Waikato Regional Council Hearings Committee has approved the issuing of consents to a Fonterra subsidiary for an open cast coal mine at Mangatangi, 2.5 kilometres east of Mangatawhare in North Waikato. The consents have been granted to Glencoe Energy Limited, subject to conditions designed to address a range of environmental and health concerns. The committee heard from a number of submitters concerned about the potential impacts of the proposed Mangatangi open cast mine on the local community and the environment. However, the commissioners said in their decision that the adverse effects of the mine on the environment would be minor given the conditions imposed. Now for our region's weather for the weekend. Hamilton, your Saturday will have a few morning showers, and then fine in the afternoon with a southwesterly. Your expected high is 20 and an overnight low of 6. Tauranga, you will have the chance of a shower, but otherwise fine for your Saturday, and the westerly is dying out. Your expected high is 21 and an overnight low of 9. Sunday for you, Hamilton, will be mostly fine with a westerly. Your expected high is 20 and an overnight low of 6. Tauranga, very similar for your Sunday, fine with light winds. Your expected high is 21 and an overnight low of 10. Just ahead, awareness around epilepsy. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. Epilepsy New Zealand compromises of 15 branches covering New Zealand with a grassroots charitable trust for epilepsy based in the Waikato. Epilepsy Awareness Talk About It Month is this November. The first Epilepsy Month was held in 1971, with the association working on emphasising both awareness and fieldwork. Harriet caught up with some of the team from Epilepsy Waikato to find out more about Awareness Month.
So what is epilepsy and what causes it?
Epilepsy is a tendency to have unprovoked seizures. So people can have seizures, like children can have febrile convulsions, but it's not epilepsy. So it is a proper diagnosis to have unprovoked recurrent seizures. And anything can cause epilepsy. Hormonal fluctuations for women, head injuries, birth traumas, all sorts of range can cause epilepsy, but in many cases we don't know the reason why people have epilepsy. It's just very unusual. And so people can go about their daily lives and all of a sudden have epilepsy for whatever reason. So it's quite a mystery, actually.
And how common is epilepsy in New Zealand?
1 in 100 people. 1 in 100 people can have epilepsy at any given time. So we're part of a 50 million global community of people with epilepsy, which is quite interesting.
Now tell us about Awareness Week. What is it and when is it, and what does your team hope to get out of it?
Our Awareness Week is for the first week of November, and we're doing a media campaign. So TV, radio, newspapers, getting the message out that actually we are a group of people who are very keen to fill a hole in our community in helping people with epilepsy. So it's a media campaign.
What are some other events that your team coordinates year round?
We're actually quite an active group, putting on cafe evenings and daytime where the people can come and meet, which is really lovely on a social gathering. We also run meetings, talks for talks a year, and also I've been running a course called Thriving on a Shoestring, which is really lovely because it's enabled people to get out of the four walls of their home to actually socialise and meet with others. So it's actually a very, very active group, and we've got a very nice following of loyal people who like to come and see what we're going to offer next.
Do you think that there needs to be more education around epilepsy in New Zealand, or do you think most people have an accurate perception of what it is?
No, it's actually a condition that a lot of people are still fearful about. And so one of our jobs is actually to go out and give lots of positive talks and feedback about people with epilepsy so that there is a better understanding. People have this impression that there is only one type of epilepsy, and that's where it's full convulsive on the floor. But in fact, there are other types of epilepsies out there that people aren't aware of and are quite stunned when you talk about it and they go, oh, I didn't realise. And so, no, that's actually quite a huge part, is to actually understand and to educate people so that they're not fearful about the condition, because people are very, very isolated in the community. They're fearful about having epilepsy in the community, and the community are fearful about them having an epileptic seizure. So, no, a lot of work has to still be done.
So as someone who suffers from epilepsy, what is everyday life like?
We never use that word sufferer.
No.
We live with epilepsy, and it depends on the type of epilepsy you have as to the effect it has on your life. And for about 30%, it does impact on their lives and what they can do. And for the other 70%, they are well managed with medication and are able to work and live in the community as one of the community. Yes.
And what are some things that you have to be more careful or more aware of when you do have epilepsy?
I think one of the big things is to really have some plans. So know that you have epilepsy. What would you do if you do have a seizure? One of the other really big things is to know, for people living with epilepsy, know your triggers. Now, we all have triggers, and probably most people know about the lights. Flashing lights can trigger some people's seizures off. And so obviously you would not put yourself in that situation. But there are many different triggers, and if you know them, then you can just manage them. Stress, tiredness.
What should someone do if they were perhaps the first person to come across someone who was having a seizure?
Really depends what type of epileptic seizure they're having. We have generalised seizures which don't always look as if it's a convulsive seizure, and then there are the non-convulsive seizures. So it really depends, but I think you're probably thinking full convulsive on the floor seizure, yes. What you have to do is actually make the person safe. So their area is safe, make sure that if they have anything tight around the neck that it's loosened, remove the glasses, and timing is actually very important. It's critical. So most seizures are over within a couple of minutes, and the last thing a person wants is for an ambulance to be called when they're going to recover within 2 to 3 minutes. So timing is critical. Don't put anything in the mouth. That's an old-fashioned thing. They're not going to swallow their tongue. And basically just wait and reassure someone and make sure, and whilst they're there recovering. If they don't recover after a 5-minute seizure, then you call the ambulance, and that becomes then a medical emergency. Or if somebody is pregnant or has diabetes, then you also have to call an ambulance because that needs to be dealt with. So part of our education is to help with what to do with people having a seizure, and it really does matter as to what type of epilepsy that they have. But the convulsive seizures, yes, there are safety issues there.
And how can people get more involved, or perhaps more information or support about the condition?
they can definitely contact me on my website. www.ewct.org.nz is a really good way of getting in contact. I have a phone number. We're not, unfortunately, on the white pages, but that's going to soon be rectified. We're a new organisation. So through internet is a good one. Word of mouth is another good one. People know that we're getting out there. So, and this is part of this campaign too,
Yes.
that we are here for people with epilepsy.
Regular publications of information can be received through newsletters, brochures, information sheets and the Epilepsy New Zealand website, epilepsy.org.nz. Coming up next, the Loneliness Campaign. Welcome back. A course for those 50 plus kicked off in Matamata last month and aims to encourage and educate people when it comes to their food choices. Live Well, Eat Well organiser Margaret Newcomb caught up with Harriet and shared more about the course and what Age Concern aims to do for people.
So tell us about this course that you've been running in Matamata, Eat Well, Live Well.
Eat Well, Live Well, that's exactly what it's about. It's about healthy eating, healthy action. The program is there to help seniors, and it is for seniors 65 plus. We've been running the course for over 5 years now, and it's a really good course for anybody that really wants to come along and find ways to re-motivate themselves to cook more healthy meals for them. We find that seniors are very, very aware of what their needs are, but they oftentimes say when they come in the course that they really want to just check out just how well they're doing and brush up on things that they may be a little bit worried about. So the course is about nutrition, nutritional skills, but it's also about action as well. Those two go hand in hand. You can't just eat healthy, you have to stay active as well. But we try to not use the word that starts with E, the exercise word. So what we do on the course, it runs for 4 weeks, and we're in a different rural town each month. We do a lot of cooking demonstrations, and people say that's one of the best parts of the courses is because our chef Jo Wells, she's a professional chef, everyone gets to actually sample and eat all the good food that we create. What else do we do? It's a particularly good course for particularly senior men. We're always looking for men to come along to the course because it might be that the men, maybe it's the very first time they've actually had to think about cooking. Maybe their wives have done all the cooking and it's for them, maybe they're caregiving for their wives or it's the first time that they're actually cooking. And for chaps, they maybe have never actually created a shopping list and gone to the grocery store to find things and then gone home to cook a meal. So we're trying to give really quick and easy meals. All the meals take less than 15 minutes to cook up, 15 to 20 maybe, and have really basic ingredients that are really, really healthy for them. We also look at food labels because it's pretty challenging to find what is really, really in our food out there. So if you're cooking from scratch, that's usually not a problem. But because so many of our seniors have lost the motivation, all of us have lost the motivation to cook 5 to 7 meals a week, it's pretty tempting to just go out and buy packaged foods, and there's so much not good stuff in those packaged foods. So we look very intensely at trying to find a really easy way to read a food label because they're not particularly easy stuff to understand. Yes. What else do we do on the course? I mentioned how important physical activity is. So we have Max Weinberg from Sport Waikato come along and talk about how your needs for physical activity change as you age. And we also talk about the wealth of physical activity and social activity that can be available out in the community for the seniors to become involved in. It really boils down to getting out, getting active, mixing with other people, because it's not only so much what you eat, it's really important for our seniors to look at what they're eating, but also to be staying connected in the community. And it's a good way for them to come out and meet new people in the community or just reconnect with other people in the community and just have a really good time.
So why do you think that it's so important for those aged 50 plus to be well educated when it comes to making food choices and sort of knowing how their nutritional needs change?
Well, I think it's important for all people to be aware of what they're eating. For our seniors, it's more important because as we age, our nutritional needs, our bodies do begin to change. Some of the parts begin to wear out. As I mentioned, it's the younger people that really have lost that skill to actually cook from scratch, that don't really know how. Our seniors still have that, and they want to brush up on those skills. And maybe instead of cooking for 4 or 6 people, which they've done all their lives, they want to learn how to cook for smaller amounts. None of our recipes are cooking for one, because I mentioned how motivation is so important. If you're going to put the time and effort in to cook a meal, it's got to be for more than one meal or more than one person. So all of our recipes are for a minimum of 2. And our nutritional needs really do change, unfortunately, as we age. You've got to be more and more aware of not putting junk in the trunk. You've got to put really good high nutrients. So it's making sure that your vegetables are really, really fresh. But also, as we age, unfortunately, you might be surprised to know that more than 50% of our seniors might actually be at nutritional risk. And the reasons for that is simply they've lost the motivation to cook, because maybe they don't have family around anymore to cook for, or a partner to cook with, or they might have developed an illness or a condition, diabetes, heart conditions, and that actually, because your doctor says, here's your medications, that might actually force a change in your diet. Just being on 3 medications or more per day is actually a nutritional risk. Yes, because some of those medications have side effects. And with the conditions such as high blood pressure, it's really important to cut out the salt in your diet. So our recipes are talking about putting in simple things like using parsley, really good herbs and vegetables that are going to make it taste so much better and taking the salt shaker actually off of the table. And it's not rocket science, this is getting back down to basics. Another need that changes as we age, unfortunately, is that our stomach acids aren't quite as efficient as they used to be. And we need those good stomach acids to break down the food, to absorb. Particularly calcium is so important for us as we age, but the vitamin B12 that gives us energy, and all the other iron, zinc, all those sorts of things. Sometimes our medications actually block the absorption. So whatever you are putting into your body is really, really important to make sure it's high quality.
And where is your next Eat Well, Live Well course?
Right, the next course, we're going down the line to Te Araha, and it is in the month of November. It'll be at St. David's Church, so you can give us a ring at Age Concern 838-2266 if you're keen to enroll, because it will fill fast.
If you would like to read more or find out about other events and courses run by Age Concern, you'll find all the information you need on their website, ageconcern.org.nz. Just ahead, yummy healthy goodies at this weekend's Expo. If you have just joined us, welcome to Central News. The Natural Health Expo is set to get underway this weekend in Hamilton and offers some new attractions that have not been seen in the last 10 years the event has been running. Pip and John Oxlade have been at the forefront of the development of the food hall, and Harriet went to find out more.
The food hall is all about nourishing traditions, and we're very excited. It's the first time we've had it this year, and we've got Jeffrey Morrell travelling over from America. He's the co-founder of the Weston A. Price Foundation. He's going to be speaking there. We've got live demos on yoghurt and kefir, also how to use coconut oil. We've got Lasco's salami people coming along, 100% pure beef. We've got Binin represented there. We've got a whole range of amazing food hall services, products and people to help us with the day.
There's a lot of people, they've got a lot of preconceived ideas about what's good for you, and it's things like, the right fats are actually good for your digestion. I eat 3 eggs a day for breakfast and I don't have a cholesterol problem. So it's a lot of educating the public on what is actually good for you, and there's a lot of people with food intolerances now as well, so there's just making the information available as to historically what people have been eating and what's actually good for them.
How
exactly does what we eat affect our general health and well-being?
It is so important to eat healthily and well and in the right way and at the right time of the day for you. You know, many people, they just do not realise how important it is to look at the food and look at the way it's cooked, how it's prepared. You know, you can buy GM food, you can buy food laced with soy, processed foods, but the way the body metabolises them, well, then you might end up with sensitivities and allergies, and you might not be understanding why you're feeling so tired or ratty. You might lack energy, drive, and then someone comes along and says, well, hey, how about you eating more organic or stuff you've grown out of the garden, or how about trying this vitamin and mineral? And a few weeks later you feel better in yourself and you think, wow, and all you've done is looked at your diet and changed that.
And it's also important too, depending on what your body makeup is like, what you eat at what time of the day. Personally, I can't understand how people can get up in the morning and not have breakfast, because in the morning my blood sugar's a bit low, so you just need to boost your system, and it's literally breaking the fast that you've had at night. So it's being conscious of what you eat and when you eat it.
How long have you both been involved with the Expo?
Well, we've been involved with the Expo for about 6 years as exhibitors and also presenters, and I'm a holistic practitioner. I've got background in nursing and midwifery, so I've always been very passionate in my health and wellness and helping others too. And John?
I was helping Pip out on her stand for the last few years, and then earlier this year Claire turned round to us and asked if we'd like to help organise the show for this year. And frankly, I don't know how she's done it all on her own in the past, but it's really good.
And what have you both had to do with this Expo?
When Claire asked us to become involved, Pip took on the seminar program and I said I'd overhaul the website, but we've been working together, essentially upping the marketing for the whole thing. So we've got a lot of speakers coming in from outside the area now, whereas it's always been traditionally just in the Hamilton area.
So we've got 11 key speakers and international plus national congregating at our show at the weekend, and we're very excited about that. And we've got up to 80 stall holders as well, professionals from around the area too.
What sorts of people sort of attend the Natural Health Expo?
Everybody from young to older, ladies to gentlemen, but we find that every show is different every year depending what people's needs are, but we're finding it's the inquiring souls, people who really want to know about other options, people perhaps who've got lost in the health system or the orthodox system and don't know where else to go. And they might be at the end of their tether, they might be having continuous problems, but now it's like, well, shall we try this, shall we try that? And then they might find that they work and something else opens up for them.
For more information, visit naturalhealthexpo.co.nz. That is the news for today and this week. We really want you to be involved, so like us on Facebook and let us know your views. If you have news including your own video and photos, go to our website and hit upload. Thanks for joining us. I will be back next week with more guests from in and around our regions. I'm Hilary Entwistle. Have a lovely evening and a fantastic weekend.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.